stand for the boys of summer as they finish out their home schedule here at Coors Field. A bit of crisp in the air as well as fall is on its way. The Rockies, they are looking to continue their success from the road trip. 10 days on the road. They went 5-5. That's the first time they've had a 500 road record on a 10-day trip since 2009. Hopefully they can bring that back here and finish out the season strong. For more, let's head upstairs to Drew Goodman and Jeff Houston, guys.
Yeah, Jenny, I think that's the right theme. Finish strong at home. It has been a disappointing year all around, and particularly at home, because this is a place that traditionally the Rockies have dominated. They have not done so this year, 31-40. So with 10 ball games left, go win 7-8.
Yeah, you need to, because you need to get that good feeling about playing here at Coors Field, what it means. Like, even it's not going to go like you said, like you wanted it to coming out of spring training, but at least it gives you a little something as you go into the offseason.
Absolutely. Well, on the hill tonight for the Rockies, perhaps the right man, Chad Bettis. He is really throwing the baseball well. In Seattle in particular, he was very special.
Talking to a scout downstairs, and he was just raving about that start. He said, man, he comes out there throwing 95, 96 in the first inning, had a very good changeup to go with it, 6 strikeouts, 98 pitches. He was just in complete control. It's been really fun to watch him since he's come off the DL. He's 3-1, and you could start to see that spark again. And we were talking to Chad a couple days ago out in LA, and he just said, I really felt it in the bullpen that day, and I was just going to let it go.
And he keeps learning each time out. We forget that he's still a young pitcher at this level, and I'll tell you what, it was really good to see him perform in Seattle, and we've seen it now a few times this year where he just can dominate a lineup.
We talked about what it means to finish strong. Well, I think the same thing could be said for Chad, because he had that stretch where he was down with the elbow, but finish strong here because he's going to be a key component to that starting rotation next year.
Yeah, without a doubt. So Chad Bettis will have the baseball for the Rockies. Ian Kennedy, who's always been tough on Colorado, will have it for San Diego. It's the Rockies, it's the Padres. Come on back to Coors Field with us. It is indeed the final homestand of 2015, and we welcome you officially to 20th and Blake. Chad Bettis taking the mound. The Rockies and Padres will play 3 ball games. Then the Pittsburgh Pirates will be in. The Rockies coming off a very fine road trip, 5-5. They dropped a tough one the other night in Los Angeles. But Colorado rested after finally a day off yesterday, and they're raring to go here against the Padres. Will Myers is going to lead it off for San Diego. Colorado saw the Padres a little more than a week ago when they began that 10-game road trip. They dropped 2 of 3 against the Padres out at Petco. Here's the Southwest batting order for Pat Murphy. And after Myers, he'll have Yangervis Solarte. He's had a real solid year playing third base. Offensively as well for San Diego. Matt Kemp, a good second half. Justin Upton, very dangerous, as you know. Jed Jerko about 5th. Melvin Upton Jr. will get the start in center field. Derek Norris has had a big year against the Rockies, including 10 doubles. Corey Spangenberg at second base, he'll bat 8th. And then Ian Kennedy. Numbers on Chad Bettis. It'll be his 18th start, and I thought you hit the nail on the head. Finish strong. And
then for Chad, he probably has 2 or 3 more starts under his belt, so go out there, get that even 20 starts, get that record up maybe to 9-5, 10-5. But his last 4 starts, he's got a 3.63 ERA and 22 1/3 innings, 15 strikeouts, just 6 walks. But more importantly, the Rockies are 11-6 when he starts.
That tells you something, especially when you're talking about a team that unfortunately is 24 games under 500. So when you've taken the baseball, this team has won. That first fastball's down low at 95, and I wanted to check that out immediately because he was under the weather 2 starts ago when he faced the Giants. He gave up 4 runs in 4 1/3. He tried to battle through it. He wasn't feeling well. And in Seattle, as we just touched on, he was 95, 96 out of the gate. And that first fastball, though it wasn't in the strike zone, was in the mid-90s. And that pitch is on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike on Myers. It's been a tough road trip for Myers. 2 for 16. A trip for San Diego that began in San Francisco. They were swept there. 2-1. And then they went down to Arizona, took 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks.
They'll finish this up, go home for a 10-game homestand, and then just a quick 3-game trip to San Francisco to end up the season.
High fly ball to Cargo in right field. One out, and let's take a look at the defenders for the Rockies. Corey Dickerson's in left, Charlie Blackmon in center. Cargo, as we just saw, is in right. Arenado Reyes, LeMahieu Morneau in the infield. Dustin Garneau doing the catching. A couple days off for Garneau. Yesterday, the off day on Wednesday. Willeen Rosario did a really good job catching Jorge De La Rosa. What a contrast. Man, the Rockies played 16 innings, 5 hours, 23 minutes on Tuesday night. And then they played in 2:08 on Wednesday. Ball 2 on Solarte.
Yeah, and you look at that ball game, it was crisp, it was clean, both pitchers throwing strikes. And Jorge just gave up 2 runs in 8 innings.
Yeah, I mean, he got credit for a complete game. This is lifted to left center. There's some wind out there. Dickerson will make the catch.
It's blowing from right to left. Just picked up. It wasn't blowing much during batting practice today.
Game time temp is 65 degrees. And as Jenny stated a few moments ago, there is a hint of fall in the air. And there ought to be. It's September 17th.
Noticed that when we got off the plane early, what do you call it?
Middle
Thursday
of the night
morning?
Last night? I just called it the middle of the night 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's amazing when you're gone this time of year for 10 days and you leave and it's summer and you come back and it felt like fall. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Kemp with 2 outs here in the first. Matt hasn't had a big road trip offensively, though he did homer in the 5th inning on Wednesday against the Diamondbacks, his 22nd. That's a good looking pitch. Just inside, according to Jerry Davis. 2-1.
Well, Kemp, you never know, because he's playing here at Coors Field and also against the Rockies.
3-1.
For Kemp, he's hitting in 143 games. He's at 35 home runs and 122 RBIs.
Yeah, he's put up ridiculous numbers against the Rockies. He's on that list of all-time Rocky killers, Matt Kemp. Barry Bonds is on top of that list. Barry hit 54 home runs against the Rockies, but the Rockies weren't alone. Here's a 3-2 and a sharp hit right at Nolan Arenado. So a 1-2-3 beginning for Chad Bettis. And we'll see those Rockies bats when we return. On this Friday night, good start for Chad Bettis. Charlie Blackmon looking for a good start. He'll be followed in the Southwest batting order for Walt Weiss by Jose Reyes. And then after Jose, it'll be Carlos Gonzalez, Nolan Arenado. Nolan's got 9 home runs in the month of September, tied for the big lead in that category. Justin Morneau next, LeMahieu, Dickerson, Garneau, and Bettis. Good numbers for DJ against Ian Kennedy, by the way. Well, Ian Kennedy, man, when he faces the Rockies, he's always been a good pitcher, but against the Rockies at this ballpark, he's been very special.
3.02 ERA, and in 8 of the 9 games that he started here at Coors Field, he's allowed 3 runs or less. The other one, he allowed 4. So he knows how to pitch here. He's not intimidated by it. 8-14 on the season, but 2-9 out on the road.
He got off to a rough start, Huey, and he had some hamstring issues. In fact, at one point went on the DL in the first couple months. But really, since he's been back at the beginning of June, he's been the guy that we have seen so many times in the past. He's been a very solid pitcher.
Well, he's not very. I mean, he's 30 years old, so it's not like he's on the backside of his career. I still am impressed with his fastball. It's not as hard as it once was, but he's not afraid to use it. He will pitch up in the zone, try to get some strikeouts with an elevated fastball.
And because he pitches up, he's given up some home runs. There's the fastball up at 2-0, and it swung through 2-1. He's given up 29 home runs.
Well, they're kind of split equally between right-handers and left-handers. Left-handers have hit 16, righties 13.
And the 2-1's fouled off. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Career ERA Coors Field, that 3.02 Jeff talked about, is the lowest ever. Ubaldo had a 3.67 in his time here. Tom Glavine, Jason Marquis, Rodrigo Lopez also on the list. 3.02 after 9 starts really gets your attention, and that's strike 3. So Ian Kennedy, who can rack up the strikeouts, that's his 154th in 151 2/3.
Paints the black. Strike 3 from Jerry Davis. Charlie thought about going after it. Now he'll just double check to make sure with the umpire. You always want to do that after your first at bat. Just say, was that on the swing, or were you calling that a strike?
Jose Reyes takes a fastball on the inner edge, and it's 0-1. Reyes just 3 for 20 against the Padres this year. Those guys who can bunt always have late wandering eyes.
They have to, because infielders will play with you, meaning that they'll come in, and then as the pitcher starts to wind up, they'll go back and they'll jockey position either at first or third. So as a hitter, you have to kind of wait till the end, because you want to see, is he backing up on me now? I can still lay one down.
Foul tip, and not held by Derek Norris, fortunately.
Jose was pointing immediately. He said, no, that ball hit the dirt.
Yeah.
The Subaru Supermo, foul tip, hits the dirt. Now watch him point. See? It hit the ground. Don't try to play that off, Derek.
Home plate umpires will tell you it's one of the toughest calls. It's hard for them to see. A lot of times they'll need help.
I'm trying to look through the catcher to see if it hit the ground.
And the fastball's pulled. Oh, Ewok, little bobble, but he held on.
Right.
So it's clean. Still clean.
Didn't drop to the ground, did it? No.
Late in the season, EY has looked to field the ball more at first base, on the first base coaching lines, than he did earlier in the year.
Well, on a cooler night, too. You said it, 65 degrees, 68, something like that. See, he didn't lose it.
In the air to Kemp in right, and Kemp puts it away. Here the Padres defensively. The Upton brothers in left and center. Matt Kemp's in right. Then Solarte and Jed Jerko. That's the 20th start now for Jerko at shortstop. He's comfortable there. Corey Spangenberg at second. Will Myers, who plays a lot of center field also, he's at first tonight. Derek Norris playing with a sore right hand. He got hit on a foul tip a few days ago. Missed a couple days. Quite frankly, came back faster than Pat Murphy or anybody on the training staff thought he would. Norris behind the plate. Here's Cargo. Cargo has not had a lot of success against Ian Kennedy in his career. Does have a couple home runs. 5 for 35. Fastball's high. Tonight is Cargo's 900th game. So what has he accomplished in the game, you ask? He's hit 290 through those 900 games, or 899. 173 home runs, 545 driven in. Not bad. And this ball is in the air to shallow right, and laying out. Kemp made the catch. That's a nice catch by Matt Kemp to end the first inning. So Matt Kemp robs Carlos Gonzalez of a base hit. No score. We're on our way to inning number 2.
Rockies. Today is a Fan Friday, so send us your thoughts via Twitter, #FanFriday. Today we're going to spend a little time talking about some postseason awards. Give us your thoughts. Who do you think is going to be the Cy Young? Who is the Rookie of the Year? Let's go NL MVP, AL MVP, you name it. Let's talk about it. And I know Drew and Huey are going to have some great thoughts on it, which I'm not going to really listen to. So I'm going to just throw mine at you the entire day.
That's something different?
Yeah, I was going to say, why should this day be any different from any other day?
I'm just making sure we got it set up. It's set up now. We're talking now. I'm not listening. You're talking. It's going to be great. #Fan Friday.
Okay, #Fan Friday. Got it.
Yep, got it. See, Drew, I could do it. I told you.
You did, yeah. We were concerned after an hour and a half of rehearsals that you wouldn't be able to say #Fan Friday. But you listen, just like when you played, you're clutch.
You know what? You got to come through in certain situations, and you know when it comes to #Fan Friday, I think I nailed it.
Yes, you did. 2-2 on Justin Upton. Yeah, it should be an interesting. Whenever you talk about the MVP every year, it's an annual conversation. Is it most valuable player on a winning team? Is it the guy with the best offensive stats? Should a pitcher be able to win? Obviously, a pitcher won in the National League last year, and Clayton Kershaw. 2-2 outside, 3-2 on Justin Upton.
I think the one thing we can agree on with the MVP is defense really doesn't come into play that much
with the voters, but probably it should.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It should, but it doesn't.
Listen, defense didn't come into play with the Gold Glove until recently.
That is true. What was it, Rafi? 20-something games at first when he won the Gold Glove?
Yeah, that's the one we always reference. This ball's pulled down the line, and it is fouled by about 3 feet. Oh, we asked Walt who his National League MVP is.
I say no one because he impacts the game on both sides of the ball. It's unfortunate that when people talk about an MVP, all they do is look at offensive numbers. That's it. Really. I mean, when it gets down to it, I don't know why that is. And if he played on a playoff caliber club, I understand that. But defense never gets talked about. This guy changes the game with his defense almost virtually every night.
Well, Nolan Arenado is a legitimate candidate in my book, and I say it not with the hometown bias, but yeah, look at the numbers. And this year, and I do take into consideration when the defense is that special, you have to take that into consideration. The runs he is saving on a nightly basis, and that's what Walt's pointing at. And what makes this year maybe a little more fascinating than other years is with the teams that are a slam dunk to go to the postseason, they don't necessarily have a bona fide slam dunk MVP kind of candidate. Swung on a miss by Jerko after the base hit by Upton. I mean, look at the Cardinals. Who's their MVP? I mean, their pitching staff's been their MVP. It's a team sport, and collectively, they've won a ton of baseball games.
Yeah, nobody on that where you're saying, well, they're in the top 1 or 2 here or there, at least position player wise. Where you say, okay, he is the guy.
But Scotty's had as big an impact on in the last couple of months as anybody. You know, here's a list of the candidates. We didn't want to leave out Paul Goldschmidt. We only had room for so many headshots, so Paul's numbers are at the bottom. Go back to it after this pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, and it swung on and missed. 1-2. So Bryce Harper has had an extraordinary year. Andrew McCutchen, after a slow start, is doing Andrew McCutchen things on an outstanding baseball team. You have Nolan, and look at those numbers and how they compare. He's leading the league by a bunch in RBIs. Yoenis Cespedes is controversial because he's only played about 50 games or whatever it is with the Mets. And then there's Zach Greinke. I mean, listen, if Kershaw could win it last year, you got to include Greinke, don't you, this year?
Right, and then that's what you're looking at is does Greinke deserve to go? And some people say, and I'm kind of one of those guys, that he's more of a Cy Young. He's not an MVP. That's my personal opinion. They already have their own award. But I look at it, Bryce Harper, what he's done. He's the only player in double-digit runs with 110. And up until about, 3 weeks ago, Washington was in the hunt for a playoff spot.
Oh, he kept him in there. That pitch is high. His on-base percentage is off the charts, along with Paul Goldschmidt. It's interesting when you talk about most valuable player, because from an offensive standpoint, I use the Dodgers as an example. We're talking about Greinke, and certainly Kershaw could be 1A. He's been terrific again. Who would their offensive MVP be? It's got to be Adrian Gonzalez, but you wouldn't say he's had MVP-like numbers. Good numbers.
Good numbers, but not off-the-chart numbers. And that's why the list we had up there with Nolan, with the home runs and RBIs and the defense, all of that certainly plays in. Paul Goldschmidt in Arizona. But it goes back to, some voters will say you have to be on a championship or a playoff type team.
I agree with that as well. If you're the best player in baseball, your team has to be one of the better teams in baseball. And Huey, you played with Alex Rodriguez when that team came in last place. You remember when Andrew Dawson won it with the Cubs when they came in last place? How did the players feel back in when that happened, when their guys are winning MVPs on last place teams?
Well, you know what? When Andre Dawson won it, Cargo dropped it. He should get the force. High throw and safe. I don't know why he went to tag him.
All he had to do was step on the bag.
But maybe Jose felt like he could see where the runner was, or just tag the bag. That was weird.
Yeah, because it's still a force out at second base. It'd go down as an E9.
He didn't see it.
No, he lost it and went off his glove. You see it here on the Subaru Supermo. It just didn't settle in the webbing. But then when he threw it to second base, you still had time to get Upton. I mean, just step on the bag. You don't need to tag him. Put your left foot on the bag.
The only thing I can think of is maybe he felt like that was faster because he was a full step away from the bag, and he's watching the baseball and had to find the bag. Well, it's an error on Cargo, obviously, and now there's 2 on for Derek Norris. Derek Norris has killed the Rockies this year. 10 doubles, 421 average, couple home runs, 11 RBIs. He had never faced the Rockies prior to this year. He was up in Oakland. Here's a strike. Here's the thing, going back to the Andre Dawson thing, Spilly. If you have unbelievable offensive numbers and the pitching was bad on your club, or the bullpen let down, or nobody else really did much of anything, you may be decidedly mediocre as a club, but that doesn't diminish having a super year.
Well, and then that's where we talk about, then name the award, the guy with the super year versus the most valuable player.
And maybe that's the biggest issue. Yes. that instead of, we can have an MVP on a playoff team,
right,
and maybe there's the best offense, and they have the Henry Aaron Award, and,
yes,
and it doesn't get as much it doesn't get as much media play. Here's the other thing when it comes to, and I get it, you and Spilly were position players, and you say, well, listen, they have their award, talking about the pitchers, the Cy Young. We all know one thing, and you cannot win in this sport if you don't have really good pitching. The teams that play in the postseason didn't get there because they just slugged their way there. You have to have pitching. And if that is the most important element of the sport, then if a guy puts up ridiculous numbers as Kershaw did last year, as Greinke's doing this year, they probably are the most valuable guy.
But then you're taking away any defense out there. Now, I know he holds runners and fields his position.
Big strikeout right there, Norris.
But then it goes back, then you're just counting a guy that goes out and plays every day, and the defense he brings and the runs he saves and the games he wins defensively. Well, Chad picks up his fielders on this one, gets Derek Norris, who hitting over 400 against Colorado this year, locks up the corner. Derek raises his arms, didn't think it was a strike, but it was there on the black.
Well, let me throw a really quick curveball, as Chad Bettis is probably going to throw one. I may argue right now that Zach Greinke is going to be the Cy Young Award winner, but Jake Arrieta, to me, is the MVP for the Chicago Cubs. If that team makes the playoffs, and if you look at how the team is in their appearances when he starts, he's as important to anybody as there is in baseball. If we're going to take that using starting pitching, Zach Greinke, Clayton Kershaw, they have each other. They have a blankie. Jake Arrieta does it. He's on his own. And so to me, if we're talking most valuable player, I would say Greinke, Cy Young, Arrieta, MVP. What do you got on that?
Well, I like your argument. I certainly see where it's coming from, and I understand what people say. Well, they're MVP because they saved the bullpen those nights.
Right.
Then you don't have to. You only have to worry about a couple other nights. But Billy's right though, because those two guys are together. They pitch back-to-back days usually, Greinke and Kershaw. So now it makes it easier for Mattingly, only 3 days. Arrieta, what a year he's had, and that's why he's going to get a lot of votes for the Cy Young.
That's why it's an interesting conversation. I mean, the same logic would apply that Spilly dispensed to Madison Bumgarner. The Giants aren't going to the postseason this year. Well, they wouldn't even be in contention in September without Madison Bumgarner, who, by the way, goes for his 19th tonight. That was a pitch around. Spangenberg walks on 4 pitches. It loads the bases, but with 2 outs, it's now Ian Kennedy at the plate. So kind of a shrewd maneuver by Chad Bettis. It's an opportunity to again show some growth for Bettis. It was a base hit, the unfortunate drop in right field. And still find a way to keep San Diego hopefully off the scoreboard.
Good cut fastball at 90 miles an hour, that last pitch from Chad.
Even though not much of an average for Kennedy, we've seen him swing the bat well in the past, so you can't fall asleep on him.
Kyle Kendrick hit a home run off of Ian Kennedy last time these two clubs met up down in San Diego. So, yeah, it can happen.
Kennedy hit a home run last year. Here's the 1-1. Cutter or slider, and it's 1-2.
Whatever it was
unhittable.
Yeah, and executed to a T.
Top of the 2nd inning, no score. 1-2. Got him. Good job of pitching by Chad Bettis. You get a big attaboy from Carlos Gonzalez, I'm sure, when he gets to the dugout. Middle of 2, no score. Toyota stores, Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Nolan Arenado is going to lead things off. Take a look at our big hit presented by Mako. Turn the car you drive into the car you love. 16th inning on Tuesday night. Many folks up in the middle of the night in Denver, and Nolan said, guess what? Go to bed. About 12 rows up in right center field. So Mako big hit of the night. Rockies would prevail 5-4, 16 innings. One of the 4 longest games in Rockies history. 5 hours and 23 minutes as Nolan steps in here, takes a slider, ball 1. Spilly, what do you have?
Well, I guess we're still friends with Nolan Arenado, even though he left me hanging.
We missed it, though. I was talking to him about it today, and he said, hey, I pointed you guys up in the booth because he had called it and was talking about it that day during batting practice.
Yeah, because he was saying how he wanted to hit a ball opposite field, and that was as close to oppo as Nolan's ever come. And that ball was, what, 15 feet right of center field?
Counts, though.
You know what? He has grown so much in front of our eyes, and being 24, going hard as he does every single day, I've grown to really, really appreciate every single thing he does on the baseball field.
And now he's in the MVP discussion.
And he should be.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying, how much he's grown even from last year to this year at 24 years of age, going out playing every single day, doesn't want a day off.
Two and two. Can't discount 39 home runs, 111 RBIs, leads the National League in road home runs. For all those folks back east that assume it's Coors Field manufactured, and the defense speaks for itself. And there's another base hit for Nolan, a leadoff single here in the second. Billy tweeted out, I've made ESPN top 10 and not top 10 as a big league player. Now
that's Scott Van Pelt, my favorite.
SVP, he's great. He likes my cupcake choices.
Hashtag no regrets. you know the irony of it, I typically joke with people on Twitter, and I said that I got no regrets tattooed to my chest, making a joke like no regrets. And most people really believe that I got tattooed in my chest. No regrets. So, tongue in cheek. You can't see my tongue in my cheek on Twitter, but it's usually in there. Yeah, it's in there.
And it was a good cupcake, wasn't it?
Man, that was. They had cupcakes in the food room today in the media dinner, and I think it was for me. I'm going to assume it's for me because that's how I think nowadays. You know, now that I got all this fame and fortune from being on TV all the time. So, yeah.
2 strikes on Justin Morneau, 7 for 21 on the road trip. Way out in front, so that's a strikeout of Morneau. 1 out. That'll bring up LeMahieu. DJ hit 400 career-wise against Ian Kennedy. With every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. On LeMahieu.
DJ's had a couple days off. Didn't start on Wednesday night, the last game in LA.
Get 2 days off this time of year. It's got to feel wonderful. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You'll take any amount of rest you can get. But to have 2 days off in September, just kind of give you that last push until the end of the season. 328 career average against the Padres.
And that's called strike 1 and 2.
Back inside with the fastball.
2 and 2. Nolan at first with 1 out. No score. Bottom of 2. Outside.
Have we seen this dramatic of a shift on DJ?
There have been a couple teams outfield wise, but
I'm
less so with the right fielder though. Matt Kemp's like 15 strides from the line.
The center fielder's way over there. I get it off there.
Runner going, ball 4. So the Rockies put Arenado in motion on the 3-2. DJ draws a walk, and they're 2 on with 1 out. Corey Dickerson. If the Rockies score 7 runs in a game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the following day between 4 and 6 in the afternoon to get your Rockies taco special at Moss at Taco Bell. Big swing. I finally thought of it.
What's that?
Well, we was talking about Ian Kennedy going to high school, La Quinta High School in Southern California with Ian Stewart. They were on the same high school team. And Stewart signed with SC, but the Rockies drafted him, and he signed with the Rockies. Ian Kennedy went to Southern Cal and had a fine career there. There was another player drafted by the Rockies off that team that ended up reaching the big leagues briefly with Colorado.
It was an outfielder.
Cole Garner. Remember Cole Garner?
Yes.
He was an outfielder. Yep. Bobby Crosby went there. You know who else went to that high school? The Laird brothers. Gerald Laird.
Baseball factory for high school.
Laird. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Bobby Crosby was the AL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
After he left Long Beach State.
Cole Garner's still playing in the Jays system. Back to Double-A, was Double-A with New Hampshire. Shane Opitz from Heritage High School playing on that Double-A team. 1 and 2. Corey 5 for 24 since coming off the disabled list.
Another guy that will benefit for some downtime once the season ends to heal that foot before he starts getting ready for next season.
That's ripped up the middle, of base hit. Nolan around third, green light. Mid-throw from Melvin Upton, 1-0 Colorado. Dickerson with an RBI single to center.
Come in with a career .307 batting average with runners in scoring position. This year even higher, .390, and it'll go up after this solid line drive to center field. Talk about Ian Kennedy pitching up in the zone. He likes to, but this is belt high right there. I mean, it is just golden on the Subaru Supermo for Corey Dickerson. Nice to get that 1-0 lead.
Dustin Garneau. Well, home runs for Dustin already in his brief big league career.
That big home run in Seattle, 3-run shot. The Rockies win the game.
Garneau pulls it, stay fair. It is indeed a fair ball to the left field corner. LeMahieu scored. Dickerson gets a green light. Throw to the plate. There won't be one. 2-run double. Dustin Garneau. 3-0 Colorado. Kid's gotten some big hits.
He has, and they've been on some off-speed pitches. Slider in Seattle. This was a 77-mile-an-hour curveball that he pulled, but he kept his hands close to his body. See how that back elbow really drives down close to his side, and then he rotates the hips when he makes contact, not before. If you do, that's a rollover ground ball.
Outside on Chad Bettis.
You hit this ball and you're just hoping to yourself, stay fair, don't hope too much. That one was plenty fair.
On the corner. Well, the baseball world lost one of its broadcasting legends in the last day and a half. Milo Hamilton, who most recently was broadcasting for the Houston Astros. Milo finished up in 2012. Milo passed at 88 the other day. I had the privilege of working a basketball game of all things with Milo. College basketball game back in the late 80s at Baylor University. I recall it well. And he did the Braves, he did the Cubs briefly, and became an institution down in Houston.
I just remember him from my time when I was playing down for the Rangers. We played some of those games during spring training. But to see and to talk to Milo, various charity events, what a gracious human being.
One out. Garneau's at second base, 3 runs in for the Rockies. Bettis with a 2-2 count. Bettis rolls to short. Jerko throws across for the second out. And Charlie Blackmon will come up. The day after every Rockies win, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Charlie Blackmon, his first time up. Struck out looking on a pitch on the outer edge of the plate. Fouled off. Charlie leading the club at games played with his participation tonight. Game number 144, and Nolan one behind. Game number 143 tonight for Nolan. All those injuries that Charlie had to deal with earlier in his career. And last couple of years, great health and great production.
He had that foot injury where he broke his foot down in Atlanta, rounding second base on his way to third. That set him back. But to have two guys at the top of your lineup that you can count on, there you can say, yeah, I'm going to pencil him in at leadoff, and Nolan anywhere from 3, 4, 5 every day.
Well, here's the other thing too. You talk about good health. Cargo's played 139 games after what he's been through the last couple of years. DJ's played 139 games. This ball is lifted to Kemp and right. This ends the inning, but the Rockies get 3 runs on 3 hits, and they have a 3-0 lead as we go to the third.
Talking pitching, might as well talk Cy Young Award, National League Cy Young. Please tweet us your thoughts tonight with the hashtag FanFriday. Zach Greinke, 17-3 to me, is probably got to be the front runner with the 1.61 ERA. I want you to think about something. This is potentially between Jake Arrieta and Zach Greinke, both having sub-2 ERAs. We haven't seen that in 30 years. 2 pitchers in the National League with sub-2 ERAs. The last time it happened, Dwight Gooden and John Tudor. So looking at these names, we're talking some historics here, and Clayton Kershaw is only 36 strikeouts away from getting to 300. I'm thinking if you reach that historic number, it might switch back for Clayton Kershaw to win the Cy Young. Guys?
This is a tough one, too. I don't think Madison Bumgarner's going to win it, but Madison Bumgarner could win 20 ball games very easily this year. Said it earlier, he's going for number 19 tonight. Greinke's year is phenomenal. The ERA, as Billy mentions, phenomenal. Arrieta, phenomenal. This ball's lined down the right field line, foul. And Clayton Kershaw, he's at a 212. It's conceivable he gets under 2, right?
Yeah. What I'm going to look at, though, is the difference in ballparks that these two guys, I mean, Kershaw and Greinke compared to what Arrieta, the ballpark he has to pitch in.
Not so fast, my friend, because you should know this. You played there.
Early
in
on.
April and most of May and sometimes September, it's not a real good hitter's park.
But what about June, July, and August?
Good hitter's park.
Okay.
Some people make the argument it comes down to one start. I think if you saw Dallas Keuchel the other night with Houston Astros fell flat on his face, he's potentially the AL Cy Young Award winner. One start can make or break a pitcher's year for real. And Jake Arrieta had the no-hitter at Dodger Stadium. But think about the game that Clayton Kershaw had in a must-win game against the San Francisco Giants early in September. Clayton Kershaw, 132 pitches, begged Don Mattingly to leave him in the game. He ends up with 15 strikeouts, gets that win on a game. On that game, you can argue he won the Cy Young.
Has there ever been, Doug, has there ever been a tie? Has anybody, we've had co-MVPs. What a play by DJ, but he's not going to be able to throw out Will Myers, so it's a base hit for Myers.
And 4 other times there have been pitchers on the same club that went 1-2 in the Cy Young voting. I mean, Randy Johnson down in Arizona with Kurt Schilling a couple times.
I would have no issue with any one of those guys winning it. I guess if you said, you know, put a gun to my head, I'd say it's got to be Greinke.
Because he's done it from opening day. From Jump Street. I mean, you take away the first, I would say maybe month for Kershaw, 6 weeks. His numbers have just been coming downhill the whole time.
Yeah.
But Greinke's been doing it since he left spring training.
I asked a couple of guys with the Rockies yesterday that fouled off, and they felt Greinke for basically the reasons that we're advancing, that he's done it since April 6th. Walt Weiss has an opinion. He shared it with us as well. Get to it after this pitch. 1-1.
It's tough to not give it to Greinke. His year has been really, really special. You can make a case for Kershaw. You can make a case for Arrieta. I think you could even make a case for Bumgarner. But I have to give Greinke the edge.
Well, again, not going to get an argument. Hey, 1969, fellas, in the American League, Mike Cuellar and Denny McLain tied and shared the Cy Young. Swung on and missed, 2-2.
So what about a three-way tie?
That would be something.
We've had a two-way, might as well get a three-way.
Well, why not?
You know what? Since we are splitting hairs, and I know people have gone to advanced metrics, even on the advanced metrics, if you want to use WAR as a system, I'm not the biggest fan of WAR at all times. And for the stat guys at home, just because I don't like every stat, it doesn't mean I don't like you, okay? So don't be offended if I say I don't like WAR all the time. Fangraphs has Zach Greinke at one level, and then on the other side with Baseball Reference, Greinke will be number 1. Fangraphs, Greinke's number 3. So you can't even get comparable things when they're still talking about WAR. And I know that there are different ways to measure it, but it's just one of those things.
Spilly, you mean to help here. That's a ground rule double off the bat of Solarte. Well, I was hoping you'd help out with your glove. You used to play center field.
Well, I couldn't account that ball. Neither could Charlie.
So Solarte looked like he just kind of served it out there. That thing really traveled. Second and third, nobody out with Kemp coming up.
The wind that I said earlier is blowing from right to left. Now it might be blowing more out to left center field, but he still clipped this one better than what it sounded coming off the bat. Yes, he went. First pitch, slider, RBI situation. Get the check swing.
Good pitch on the knuckles
Tied
at
him
94.
up.
Couldn't get those arms extended.
No. And Matt likes to do that. He's got power to the opposite field for that reason. Off balance, had to take the top hand off the bat to help just get it through the zone.
Kemp third in the league in ribbies with 97. Nolan number 1 at 111. Now 11 more than Paul Goldschmidt. We were back and forth for a while. Fastball a little too tall. Go back in there again with the fastball.
I would too.
And that goes to the backstop, and it comes shooting back. And Will Myers started down the line, and then I don't know if it was Matt Kemp or Glenn Hoffman. I couldn't tell voice-wise who yelled, "No, no, 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 no."
Somebody was yelling very loud. Kicked hard off the backstop. If he would have gone, they would have had Will Myers. Just listen. That was Glenn Hoffman who was telling him. Long time third base coach.
The old stadium, so you just need a golf cart to go from home plate to the backstop. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout. Chad Bettis gets Kemp out number 1 in the third. That's why the ability to get a strikeout is not overrated. Not when you're playing in a park where there's going to be traffic.
Look at the three-finger changeup. And it's all because he threw the fastball in on the hands of Matt Kemp. So the changeup appears that it's going to be another fastball in there. So he starts his swing, and then it just falls off the table down towards his ankles.
Justin Upton a single to right in the second inning. And that's a cutter on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Said it many times. I just like his demeanor on the mound. I like his determination. He's got great stuff. Slowly hit. He'll get a run home. DJ will get the out. 2 gone. As Myers scores, Solarte to third. It's 3-1. 76 RBIs for Justin Upton. Good pitch.
And to work for all of that RBI. Broke his bat.
Hey, tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag RMDataStrongFan, and we'll try to get you into a broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Jed Jerko swings and misses. Jerko struck out his first time. Phrase used all the time by pitching coaches and managers and broadcasters. The good ones limit damage. Pitched out of a bases loaded situation in the second. It's now a 2-strike count. Get Jerko. Second and third, nobody out. You give up just 1. It's good pitching.
Great pitching. It's not just good, it's great, because that's what you're hoping for at minimum. And then say if I give up 2, that's okay, but 1 is great. And that's what Chad's got to be thinking now. Get this guy here, and it's only 1 run.
Just missed.
And how many other times do you talk about a guy's got great stuff, but he always seems to give up that 1 hit that ends up being a 4 or 5 run inning. And on the flip side, you see a lot of those guys too.
Sure. And he'll get out of it. Ground ball to DJ. That is terrific pitching by Chad Bettis. In the inning, second and third, nobody out. Bettis relinquishes just 1 run. 3-1 Colorado. scored 3 times. Dustin Garneau a 2-run double as he continues to get big hits in his first trip around the big leagues. Chad Bettis has done a fine job also. So here's Jose Reyes in the 3rd against Ian Kennedy. Reyes, Gonzalez, Arenado. Good group. Pitch beneath the knees. Jerry Davis behind home plate. Jerry's been an umpire, full-time Major League umpire since 1984. And did you know he's called more postseason games, umpired more postseason games than any umpire in history. Won the World Series 5 times. Twice he's been a crew chief in the Fall Classic.
That's when you know you're respected, when you get that crew chief call in the World Series.
Will Meyer says, I got it, and he did not lie. Cargo hit a sinking line drive his first time up toward the end of the bat that Matt Kemp made a sliding catch on to deny Cargo of a hit.
Matt Kemp was late breaking on this pitch for this hit in the first inning off the Cargo because it was off the end of the bat. He comes diving in, lays out, and catches the ball, and then gets his wrist tucked underneath him enough where it doesn't end up injuring himself. I still go back to that crash he had in the wall here at center field that derailed him for a better part of a year, year and a half.
Yeah, it really did. He tried to play through it, but he was not right with that shoulder.
If we get an extra pitch, I talked to Carlos Gonzalez before the game, and he was wearing a batting glove. That right top hand, or the bottom hand that Cargo has, he had a batting glove that he didn't use when he was hitting all the homers, but it had a huge hole in it. And he said, should I bring it back? It's like, yeah, of course. Obviously, he's not wearing it.
This ball hit to center field, and Melvin Upton Jr. will make the play. 2 outs.
So I was curious if he's going to be wearing it tonight, and maybe he should. Maybe he should go get the batting glove with the hole in it.
Maybe he'll use it in his 3rd at bat.
So keep an eye on that.
Didn't you go up to the plate once with a store-bought bat, Spilly?
That was Tulowitzki.
I know he did. He had a Derek Jeter model his first 2 at-bats in San Francisco one night. Went 0 for 2, and then he hit a home run in his 3rd at-bat. And we thought, man, did he just hit a home run with something he bought at a sporting goods store a couple hours ago? He actually went back to one of his regular utensils.
The only bat I ever used that made people laugh, G. Hill brought me a bat. It was a 35-inch, 35-ounce bat, trying to teach me how to drop the barrel of the bat on the ball. And guys would laugh when I'd walk up to the plate.
If you drop that on your foot, you're going to be on the 60-day DL.
Yeah, that was about the extent of it. That was about the extent of it, but the best part of it, it helped me out so much. I mean, I credit G. Hill a lot to having the vision to let me use a bat that was oversized for something that would help me down the road.
And what did it help you do? It helped you make sure that you kept your, you took the barrel to the ball.
Yep. But 35-inch, 35-ounce, that was no joke. I had to kickstart it. I think, Huey, you talked about that with some of the old bats.
Oh, yeah. Those guys, 35-ounce, 34, 35 inches.
Well, Spilly, one of the guys you played against who hit a ton of triples, wasn't a big guy. Similar body type to yourself, Lance Johnson.
Yeah. The one dog, he would use one of those type 36, 37-ounce bats.
Yeah.
The leadoff hitter weighed about 155 pounds.
So how is that similar to how I look?
No. I said Huey. I mean, and actually, Huey had like 20 pounds on Lance Johnson. 2-2 on Nolan. And this is going to get through. 3 on the left side, and it works in favor of Nolan. He's Dr. Oppo now, isn't he?
hit one home run to the opposite field, all of a sudden you become an opposite field hitter.
That's right. Throw off the spray charts completely.
Well, this is smart hitting. You're down a couple strikes with the ball in play. This is like a hit and run. You see that over there, your eyes light up if they pitch the ball away from you. And then the yellow home run from Tuesday. All those home runs in purple, and then the one lonely one, but was it ever big, that 16-inning blast. And it wasn't just a wall scraper. It went out by 8, 9, 10 rows.
Justin struck out swinging his first time. A lot of off-speed stuff from Kennedy against Morneau. I saw with the Cubs, have already knocked off the Cardinals tonight, 8-3. So they're a half game. Excuse me, they're a game and a half behind Pittsburgh. The Pirates start this difficult stretch where they play the Dodgers 3, then they come to Colorado for 4.
And they just lost Gong.
Young is out for the year, unfortunately. Terrific looking rookie who plays short and third. A lot of big hits for Clint Hurdle.
And for Pittsburgh, they get Greinke tonight, Kershaw tomorrow. Welcome to the Rockies world.
Yeah, welcome to the NL West. This ball is pulled with authority. Kemp is not going to be able to make the grab. Nolan to third, and he'll get a stop sign from Stu Cole. Then it gets dropped, and Nolan will score. Stu Cole did a great job. He realized if the ball's caught cleanly, Nolan can't go. As soon as it's dropped, Nolan, who took the wide turn, he sent him home, and the Rockies get their 4th run.
This is why you run hard all the time. Don't assume anything. Don't take anything for granted. Matt Kemp plays it off the wall, one hop. And then it was the old, I think it went off Spangenberg's glove before Jed Jerko tried to catch it. Keep running hard.
You have to assign, nothing's come down yet. You have to assign an error there because Stu was stopping the runner. So they will give the error to the shortstop, Jed Jerko.
I'm going to go back to that relay for a moment, and I think they're going to have to change this because it goes off Spangenberg's glove first.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right, so it's unfair to give it to Jerko. The second thing is, as an infielder, when you're going out on a double cut, if that first guy has to jump, you let it go because the trail guy will then get it.
What kind of separation do you like?
12 to 15 feet.
12 to
he was
15
a little
feet.
close for me, close to Spangenberg. If he's back another 5 feet, that's ideal where you want to be. But anytime the first guy leaves his feet, you're supposed to let it go because it naturally will go directly to the second guy, and you won't have that deflection.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you got to give that error to Spangenberg.
Well, it's just unfair to give it to Jerko when he's not expecting it to be deflected off of somebody else's glove. So Spangenberg jumps up. Jerko's ready for it. And then it kicks to his right.
Yeah, the other thing that, again, you'd have to see it back a few feet. And Spangenberg is getting used to playing second. He does not have a lot of experience there. Here's the 2-2 upcoming. But he's got to be able to get his feet around so he's turning over his left shoulder. He would have been doing a 270 to try to make a throw to the plate.
And he wasn't lined up to home. You always want to be one base in front of where you think the play's going to be, and so he wasn't lined up there. He was kind of caught in between, floating between where he'd be lining up for third and home.
So again, he was pulled over initially because he had a pull hitter and Morneau up. take us through what he should have done. You get a potential extra base hit, which it turned out to be, with a runner on first.
You got to catch it on your glove side. You got to fight to get around that ball however you could do it. And get it so you're catching it in one motion on your glove side and get rid of it.
This is looped, and Spangenberg makes the catch to end the inning. Rockies get another run. Arenado has scored 2 of the 4 tonight, 4-1. Take a look at our lows never stop improving stat. Rockies pitchers to go 7+ and not allow a run this year at 3 or fewer hits. It's happened 3 times. Chad Bettis owns 2 of them. What Chad needs this inning, because he's thrown 65 pitchers to the first 3, he needs one of those quick innings. Well, that's not going to be the start he was looking for. Melvin Upton Jr. with a double to left field. Give Melvin credit. I think he's found something with Mark Kotsay, the hitting coach for the Padres. He's been pretty solid in the second half. It looks like he's finding his swing again, Jeff.
Last 51 games hitting 270. So, yes, to your point, he has, because the last, maybe even the last 2 or 3 years, he's been struggling to even get to 200. And now with Mark Kotsay figuring out his swing, to me, he's also cut it down. It's not a big swing like it used to be. With Tampa Bay in 2012, 146 games, he hit 246. But since then, 204 average in 341 games. Mark Kotsay, he knows a little bit about hitting. They got an assistant hitting coach there too, Alonzo Powell, who's been there 3 years.
Yeah, Alonzo, an old teammate of yours.
Yeah, way back in the Indianapolis Indians days in Montreal.
Ooh, Derek Morris gets plugged. That'll set up a force all around. Corey Spangenberg, though. Corey's a difficult guy to double up and fly. Well, there was a hit by pitch or 2 in that St. Louis Cubs game. Matt Holliday got hit in the head, and his good friend and our old friend Matt Belisle, I put this in air quotes, retaliated and hit Anthony Rizzo, and Matt immediately got ejected. What's the report? Matt okay? Holliday okay? Matt was okay, which is great news. Boy, he's battled the injury bug this year with that quad.
And he did that quad in left field here at Coors Field earlier this year. Came running in for a pop-up, stumbled, pulled that, tried to come back, hurt it again. Does that surprise you what Matt Belisle did? No.
1 iota.
Belisle hit Rizzo down in the leg. It wasn't up.
Right. There's a way to do it.
That's the perfect way to do it.
There's a way to do it, and that was raised right in the game. 2-1. That's why I think even though he's not here, it was so good the last year and a half to have LaTroy Hawkins around, have Matt Belisle around, have Rafael Betancourt around, and some of the younger Rockies relievers. Dropped a curveball on him. 2-2.
Spending 3 hours out in the bullpen, talk about a lot of things. How about this over-the-top curveball?
Changeup misses away. 3-2 on Spangenberg. Nobody out. 1-2-3 first, and Bettis had to get 4 outs in the second. There's traffic in the third inning, and now obviously there's traffic here in the fourth. Melvin Upton at second, Derek Norris at first. And a swing and a miss. He went off speed again. Got him on a curveball. And when you can command 3 pitches, you're a dangerous guy.
Just watch the reaction from Spangenberg. He doesn't know what to do, and then he tried the emergency hack just to foul it off. Subaru Supermo, he wasn't going to swing. They said, oh, that's too close. I've got to.
Guys, hitters have been in that situation, right?
He was just hoping he could nick it somehow to keep alive for one more pitch.
Yeah, you have Ian Kennedy at the plate. He struck out his first time. It's called a strike. I like the fact that in this ball game, Bettis has 5 strikeouts. Forget that number, but think of when he got the strikeouts.
We had Matt Kemp with first and second. He gets Kemp for the first out last inning.
Good bunt, and Nolan makes a great play.
Better fielder. You had the Derek Norris strikeout in the second inning. And then Kennedy to strike out to end that second inning.
Yeah, and then you just had Spangenberg.
Spangenberg and Kennedy thought, oh, this is a great bunt. Well, it was for anybody else. It's might not be playing third, but for Nolan, this is almost routine where he comes in and barehands it, and then a strike to first base to DJ.
Now he'll face down Will Myers. Got Myers on a fly ball to right field, and then in the third inning, he had a bouncer up the middle that DJ got to, but he couldn't throw out Myers, so an infield hit. 4-1 Rockies. Ball 1.
Will Myers is wearing so much tape on his bottom hand. It's almost like he has a batting glove on. He got tape on his thumb and all 4 fingers.
But no official batting glove.
No.
It's on the inside corner. Well located. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jerry's called the corners all night. Every pitch that he's called has hit that. It's not like he's giving any more. Yes, he went. Look at that block. That was a guess from Will Myers what he was getting. Thought he was getting a fastball. He was just guessing that, and it was a slider.
1-2. Played by Dustin Garneau. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. The Rockies up 4-1. Make one more pitch here.
Two plays in a row from Dustin. It was a block on the slider and the over rotation on the slider. He's got a backhand and pick it like an infielder.
Listen, Chad wasn't thrilled with, he overamped that, but to have the confidence, because there are times, many times, the pitcher wants to throw the breaking ball in the dirt, the slider in the dirt, bounce a curveball, spike it. that you know your catcher's going to block it. 2-2. Ooh. Just inside. It was 3-2.
Chad's had more confidence for the slider. He threw a changeup, struck Matt Kemp out inside after coming in with the fastball. Curveball to Spangenberg. I still think the slider or the changeup or the pitches that's going through his mind right now.
81 pitches in. He goes slider, and it's hit to center field. Charlie will get there. And again, Bettis pitches around traffic in the 4th inning. And it remains the Rockies 4 and the Padres 1.
A Fan Friday, so send us your thoughts with the hashtag Fan Friday. We are talking Cy Young, we're talking National League MVP, and we're going to talk a little Chuck Nasty today. Today is National Cheeseburger Day, and Chuck Nasty was given the chance by Hard Rock Cafe to have his own burger. The Nasty Burger. It has guac, Southwest mac and cheese, some Chipotle Sriracha, I can't even say it. More importantly, bacon. I asked Charlie about it, and he's really excited.
It's the Chuck Nasty Burger.
Would you ever order it if you didn't know Chuck Nasty?
Yeah, it's so good. It's got, when you think about it, like it's got a bunch of things that independently are great, and you think like, well, if you mashed it all together, it wouldn't be that good, but it turns out it's still pretty good.
Well, and the guy at the plate right now, Corey Dickerson, who has never had a hamburger in his entire life, is probably never going to try the Chuck Nasty Burger. But what's funny to me is Blackman said he wanted to name it the Big Nasty, but they had to settle on the Chuck Nasty.
Hold on. It never has had a hamburger.
You never heard this?
No.
Dickerson's never eaten a burger?
Never had a burger. I think it's a burger or is it a hot dog? I want to say it's a cheeseburger. He's never had a burger in his whole life. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he hits so well.
Well, we know we can't say that about Sullivan, right?
Now, Sullivan's a pizza guy. He was a pepperoni pizza. So every time the Rockies win on Papa John's, that is what Corey Sullivan is doing. He's dialing for the 50% off.
What's your food weakness, Billy?
Is Corey eating a pizza? Oh, he sees himself. He knows we're about to crush him right now. Why am I on TV right now? It's because you eat terribly, Corey.
2-2. What's your food weakness, Billy?
Sushi. And yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. Sushi's good.
And cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Sushi and cupcakes.
Yeah, he's got Skittles.
Oh, yeah. No, that's M&M's.
I want to see if Huey comes clean. I know what his weakness is. Huey, what's your
dessert?
any form of dessert. 3-2.
Ice cream in particular.
He crushed a couple of cupcakes tonight.
I had a cupcake.
Drew, what's yours?
Chips.
What kind of chips?
Chips and guac, chips and salsa, any kind. Potato chips or tortilla chips.
Little side note on the Nasty Burger. The proceeds with, oh, that's a foul tip. The proceeds that go, if you go to Hard Rock Cafe, that Chuck Nasty Burger is available for the next 8 months, so you can have it, and partial proceeds go to Children's Hospital of Colorado.
Awesome.
So it's a good thing he's doing.
Yes.
And it has bacon on it.
And it has bacon.
you sold me a bacon.
Yeah.
You pulled on that beard, Spilly, lately. Is that a glue on still, or is...
Yeah, he goes home every night and just takes it off.
I got you. And Dickerson goes down. Did you ever grow a beard, Huey?
Yes.
That's right. I saw you with one. Was it off-season?
Off-season. Usually try to do that in the off-season, but it was 1 year after I got done playing. Well, you have to do that. But I never got as long as Chuck Nasty's.
No, that looks like a lot of work.
My wife is like, no more.
Yeah. Garneau coming up here with 1 out. This is in the air to center field. Upton's out there. And Big Brother makes the catch. I asked Melvin earlier, I said, you guys never played together till Atlanta in the big leagues. He said actually one fall they played together growing up, late in high school for Melvin.
Did notice today they didn't play catch together. They did last time, not today.
Yeah, Justin's mad at his big brother. Not talking over that.
No, I'm not playing catch with you today.
Huey, when you were in Baltimore, was Cal and Billy teammates at the same time you were there?
Yes.
What was that like?
Oh, it's hilarious because Billy was the only one that could get all over Cal and really get after him, get underneath the skin. Cal loved it, but Billy was.
So did people tell Billy like, hey,
make sure you get him, get him, Billy.
That's awesome.
1-2 on Bettis. And that's all for Chad. That's all for the Rockies in the fourth. We'll go to inning number 5. Colorado 4 and the San Diego Padres 1.
They say the world's best barbecue competition teams will be at Coors Field on Saturday, September 19th. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Purchase a barbecue ticket package to vote for the Fans' Choice Award, sample some incredible barbecue, and visit with award-winning cook teams.
Just
championship barbecue contest.
Does that not remind you of me on my back patio?
I don't know, because we haven't been invited this year.
We haven't been home this summer.
Oh, okay.
You're invited on Thursday.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be over there on Thursday. So are you going to cook us some barbecue like that?
Just like that. That looks so good, I can't stand it. Yangervis Solarte in the 5th inning. Chad Bettis starts him out with a fastball wide of the zone, 1-0. Chad mid-80s in pitch count. Solarte, Kempman, Justin Upton. Taking the whole way.
So if you're Chad, just think about this. This might be the last inning for me where I am in pitch count. It hasn't really been an easy game to navigate through. But if I can get through this one with a 4-1 lead, pretty good night's work.
Yeah, and this is a sharp guy. Chad grew up in the Lubbock area, went to Texas Tech, as many of you know. This is a comeback. This athletic play. And Chad had dreams of going to the University of Texas, like so many Texas schoolboys. Wasn't ever offered by Texas. He ends up at Texas Tech, but he was recruited by some other schools, one of them being way back east, a great academic school that plays Division I baseball, Lafayette. So you knew Chad was a good student also. Just really like the entire makeup of this young man. Matt Kemp with 1 out, and he waves at a slider. It's 0-1. 6 strikeouts, excuse me, 5 strikeouts in the game, and this is hit hard, but DJ's cheat. He's up the middle, and Kemp's out. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Promo code's ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com.
So Corey has that on speed dial.
He's anticipating. Justin a single and an RBI ground out tonight. And he takes a strike. Justin hitting .291 at Petco this year. Just .240 out on the road.
Kind of assumed those would be flip-flop.
Slugging percentage way off on the road. One of the reasons they were enamored with getting Justin is that he hit well as a visitor at Petco Park. See the slugging percentage on the road just .385. A robust .502 at home. The guy will be a free agent at the end of the year. We're talking about Kennedy being a free agent.
A lot of talk that he was going to be traded at the All-Star, or excuse me, at the trade deadline. Didn't happen.
2 outs, 2-2. Ian Kennedy with the Rockies leading 4-1. Sets up away, and the slider's off the plate. It's 3-2. Justin just turned 28 a few weeks ago. Strike 3. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bettis. Strikeout number 6 as he freezes Justin Upton. Middle of 5, the Rockies up 4-1 at home. to you by the Ford Fusion, power you want, and good looks too. Ford, go further. By Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com, and by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. 4-1 lead for the Rockies in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order, Charlie Blackmon showed bunt, didn't offer at it. It's ball 1. Strikeout and fly ball to right field for Charlie this evening. Two and 0. Rockies, a major league best 271 batting average this year against right-handed pitching. Left-handed starting pitching has been another story. Rockies 241, which is 25th in baseball, and the record against lefty starters very, very poor.
Just 7 wins against left-handed starters.
Scott Oberg is throwing with the pitch count in the 90s for Bettis.
Kind of like what we thought would happen. If Jack could get through that inning, they'd turn it over to the bullpen.
At the bottom of the zone, called a strike, 2-2. Houston Huey's leading Oakland 3-2. They're back home.
They're back home. That helps them.
And they're outstanding at home, but they've lost 4 straight, all in Texas. This ball's hit a long way, left center field, and Upton gets back there, and Justin makes the catch, and then he throws to his brother Melvin. Let's go to Ryan Spilborgh's in center field. Ryan.
Well, as you remember, today is a Fan Friday, so don't forget to send us your thoughts with the hashtag Fan Friday. We're going to talk a little NL Rookie of the Year right now, and this may start another controversy between us. So Chris Bryant, Matt Duffy, Jang Ho Gong, who got hurt last night, and Jock Peterson. I think right now, obvious front runner is going to be Chris Bryant. But Gong yesterday got hurt on a slide, and the slide was by Chris Coghlan of the Chicago Cubs. And we talked with Walt Weiss today about this as well.
Ground ball to second.
There's a ground ball hit, and Gong gets hit by Chris Coghlan, not really going out of his way to get him, but also not going straight into the bag. Well, Gong suffered a broken bone and a torn MCL. He's going to be out for the season. And this is a guy, without him in the Pirates lineup, changes things up. Jordy Mercer is now back at it, but Jordy Mercer as well got hurt with the slide going into second. Huey, do you think you need to change any of the rules around the bases as far as sliding into it? I think something needs to be done.
Well, it's tough to regulate because there is the rule on the books right now that says you have to be able to reach the base. I think more than anything, it's the late slides that get you. And the one Saturday to Arenado is the one that I think if this is late, and if there's any way you can regulate a late slide, I would be all for that, because those are typically the ones that are going to get somebody hurt. Now, I know Coghlan kind of got him with his foot, but Gong was on the first base side of the bag. And I never want to get anybody hurt. I played that position. I know what it's like when guys are barreling in on you and rolling and trying to kick your legs out from underneath you. But listening to some of the people with Pittsburgh and watching that replay, they didn't really think it was that bad of a slide. But again, it goes back to, can you regulate a late slide, or can you put something in the rule book for that?
Yeah, I think the one way you can do it is you just have to force somebody to slide directly into the bag. You're not allowed to move left or right anymore. I mean,
kind of like what they do in college and high school, that you have to go directly into the bag.
And not be an arm's length.
Right.
And I think when you see Buster Posey that with Scott Cousins a couple years ago, where he got hurt for the season, it set a precedent. So now you have the catcher collision rule. I think this is going to probably be close to setting a precedent. It would be the 4th player this season to miss time on the disabled list on a play at second base.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, as you said, he's having a wonderful year. Up for Rookie of the Year.
Walt has an interesting take on it. As a guy that played shortstop like you did for many years in the big leagues, he said he used the term, I admire guys that play the game right and go in hard, even when it's against us, because that's how the game should be played. Now, there's a fine line, and I know what he thought of the Turner slide. This is going to be caught out there in short right field by Spangenberg, and second time that Cargo's been robbed tonight. But Walt likes good, hard, clean play. Taking the guy out at second is part of it. It's also the responsibility, Jeff, of that middle infielder. Get your spikes out of the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Get your feet up and let go of the
$7,000 at the ballpark. Our CenturyLink link to what's next. Here's the homestand. Final 10 games at home for the Rockies in 2015. The Padres over the weekend. The Pirates are in for a 4-game set. That'll be interesting. And then the Dodgers come in the tail end of the homestand. And then the Rockies' final 6 games of the season on the road in Phoenix against the Diamondbacks and San Francisco against the Giants. Our CenturyLink link to what's next. With Jeff Houston and Ryan Spilborghs, I'm Drew Goodman. In the 6th inning, it'll be Scott Oberg taking over on the mound, and it'll be Jed Jerko at the plate.
56th game for Scott to appear in. It's not even a full year for him. He's been up and down 3 different times.
Pitch misses 2-0. Good work by Chad Bettis. Pitched well with traffic tonight. 5 innings. He allows just 1 run, 4 hits. He walked 1, and that was a pitch around. Hit a batter, struck out 6, and several of those were big strikeouts with traffic. Oberg is going to have a play. And he just hope he's all right. He took a hard ground ball off the back of his leg.
Yeah, I'm fine. No matter how good you feel immediately, you have that adrenaline rush. It's going through your body. Catches him on like on the hamstring on the backside of his left leg. Throws out the lead runner. You get the throw a couple pitches for us. Let's see how it feels.
How many times have you ever witnessed, either one of you guys, in all the years when this happens, the guy throw a couple pitches and say, you know what, I can't go. I've seen it. I have actually seen it, yeah, a couple times, but usually it's a formality.
And it's usually when they try to reach for a ground ball and they get a bare hand or an off the elbow.
So 1 out, and here's Melvin Upton Jr. Line drive right center field. It's going to be a double for Upton. You said it his last time up. We were discussing how his swing looks a lot better. And you said it looks a lot shorter. And the last 2 hits, evidence of that. He was really short to that ball.
before he was going out and around, what we say, casting his hands out away from his body too much, and that creates a long, loopy swing. Now this time he thinks about, no, I'm not going to do that. And you see the barrel of the bat come through first? Watch the knob of the bat come through, and that helps bring the barrel through then.
Yeah, you don't want to show that barrel early. Hitting coaches will tell you.
Yeah, and that's a casting motion when you show that barrel too early. Rockies been, you have Brooks Brown and Rex Brothers. And Rex might be for Spangenberg to go left on left matchup.
On the ground is short, and Upton will cross over. And they get Derek Norris. Two outs.
Making 0 for 8 for the Padres with runners in scoring position. Well, September 21st is the last Purple Monday of the season, where Purple win prizes. The first 5,000 fans will receive a Purple Monday hat. The first 5,000 fans. First time the Pirates make an appearance at Coors Field this year. And also the last, but it seems weird that it's September 21st and it's the first time you're going to see it.
Yeah, pretty late. Of course, the Rockies' last team they saw this year was the Pirates when they went to PNC. 1-0 on Spangenberg. That's a strike. High 2-2. Walk and a strikeout tonight for Spangenberg. Rockies split that 4-game set in San Diego more than a week ago. Took 2 of 3 in Seattle, lost 2 of 3 in Los Angeles. Got him with a slider in the dirt. Good pitch by Oberg. Upton left at third base. It remains the Rockies 4 and the Padres 1, middle of 6. Nolan Arenado here in the 6th inning. Ian Kennedy continues on. And his changeup is down low, ball 1. 2 singles tonight, 2 runs scored for Nolan.
That unearned run. Padres tack another one on. They've allowed 51 unearned runs this year, most in the major leagues.
There was thought that with the expanded payroll, the one concern was defense up the middle, and defense has hurt the Padres this year. There's been a lot of factors. They haven't pitched at all like they have in the past. It's a 2-1, 3-1. Ian Kennedy with 94 pitches. And this is line to center field, but it'll stay up for Upton. I'll bring up Justin Morneau. He had that double we just showed you, also strikeouts. Justin's 1 for 2.
There's a pretty interesting story around the trade deadline with Ian Kennedy.
Fascinating story.
So trade deadline's coming on July 31st. There's talk that he might be traded. Where is he going to go? In the meantime, his wife is getting ready to deliver a baby. They're playing down in Miami.
Yeah, her 4th.
Her 4th. So he's trying to catch a flight from Miami back to California. He's on the plane. They sit there for about an hour. He called the manager, pitching coach, said, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to go tonight." They said, "Go. Just you need to be with your family. Just go."
He's got to fly all the way back to San Diego.
Well, then he gets on the plane. They have a monsoon down there. The plane doesn't take off for an hour, hour and a half. The pilot says you can get up and leave if you want. So he gets off the plane about 3:30.
This ball's pretty well hit the center field, and Upton loses track of it. It goes off the wall. Mr. Triple head to third, standing up.
He hadn't had one this whole year. Now he has 2 in 3 games.
Look at that. Justin's trying not to smile. Stu's cracking up. Last time he hit a triple, Ben Paulson ran for him. There's the smile.
21st triple of his career. This got Melvin Upton turned around in center field. He looks over one shoulder then the other and still came close to catching this off his glove on the Subaru Supermo.
Yeah, he really did come pretty close. So the monsoon sets in. He's on the plane. The pilot says, "Well, listen, you guys want to get off and walk around, you can do that." So what happens?
So he gets off the plane, catches a cab back to the ballpark about 5 o'clock. His wife gives birth. He's watching it on FaceTime. 5:30, he goes to the pitching coach. "Hey, I'm going to come out. Is it all right if I pitch tonight?" He goes out there and throws 7 innings that night and gives up 4 hits, just 2 earned runs. All that in the span of about 6 hours.
Yeah, really remarkable. I mean, he got off the plane and he called Darren Balsley. He said, "Can I still go tonight?" He goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, because of the monsoon, I couldn't take off." He said, "Yeah, get your butt down here." He gets down here and he's get down to the field and on FaceTime he's watching the birth of his 4th daughter, and thankfully and most importantly everything went well. He goes out and, as you said, he throws a gem.
"Sorry, sweetheart, I gotta go pitch.
Gotta go prepare." 3-0.
That just gives you a little bit of the moxie of Ian Kennedy.
Yeah. Who was just here, Huey, that was, and then he left, but he was waiting for his wife to give birth, and they thought that it would happen when they were at home, and they flew here. It's Paul Goldschmidt. There's Paul Goldschmidt. And then Paul, the last day, got word in time and flew home before the game started and was there for the birth of their child. 3-1. See how things have changed in professional sports and for the better. I mean, used to
Rightfully so.
Yeah, guys would miss the birth of their kids. And now there's maternity leave.
Well, that way you don't feel like you're putting your club short a man. It's just the right thing to do.
We've grown up a little bit as a society,
yes, we have.
certainly in sports. 3-2 on DJ with 1 out. Foul ball. Morneau at third. Oh, we got a tweet from Matthias. If you had your own signature burger like the Chuck Nasty, what would go on it? Avocado for one.
I like
Big
that call.
avocado guy. Well, everybody throw out an ingredient. I got avocado. Spilly, what do you have?
I'm gonna go. It's just gonna be bacon, like a big thing of bacon.
I knew that was coming.
Like a pile of bacon, and just you don't even have to put. Here, that's your burger. And people will be like, "What is that?" It's burger.
You beat me to it, Philly.
Just a pile of bacon.
It's a pig burger.
Might have to be a double.
LeMahieu battling away. You want me to throw another ingredient?
Some green chili.
Some green chili.
Yes.
I like pepper jack, and if I'm DJ LeMahieu, I'd like a steak right here instead of a burger.
A big steak.
You buy him that steak if he drives this run. And
that's
how does
what
that
we're
work?
talking about. We're talking
A
steaks.
ribby.
Swung on and missed. So Kennedy strikes out LeMahieu. 2 outs. The infield will drop back. Dickerson will come up. Corey, the RBI single at the second and a strikeout swinging. Hey, Spilly.
Yeah.
You need a tissue?
For what?
I just asked you. It seemed like you may need a tissue.
Sure. You want to rub me down one?
They're on their way.
Thank you.
Here, look. They're right here. Catch. All right. Here you go. Catch.
TV magic. Go for it.
Actually, I'll throw it in the
Look,
camera.
it's
I don't
right
want
here.
to litter. I don't want to litter. There we go. Did you get it?
Yeah, see, I got it. It's right here. It's
You didn't even bobble it. Nicely done.
That's a first.
Yeah, Spilly, tell that story while we have a quick second. You're playing. You were playing good defense, and then you had the one miscue out in Japan, and you became no more. We cannot have Spilly-san in the outfield.
Yeah, defense no good. So I went to the minor leagues the day after. I was hitting 4th for that team too. Right field.
Made one error.
One error. See you in the
That
minor
was
leagues.
it.
That
See
was
ya.
it. Smell you later.
Oh, that's a hard league.
Yeah, it was really tough.
That's a tough league.
Yeah. And he said, joke. You don't make mistakes there, huh? That's fine. I mean, baseball, it's a game of mistakes. There's a giant E on the scoreboard.
Called strike, 1-1.
Well, the worst part about that story in Japan, after I made the error, got sent to the minor leagues. When I got called back up, I was just a DH for a while. And then I started playing well, hitting better, and I got to play right field some more. And about a month after playing again, I made a similar error and got sent back to the minor leagues again. So,
Oh, man.
stay hot.
One and two on Dickerson. And Corey hits it in the air to left center. Melvin calling his little brother off, makes the catch. In the inning, a triple by Morneau, stranded at third base. 4-1 Colorado off to the seventh. Rockies enjoying a 4-1 lead. We go to the 7th inning, and Brandon Barnes is in for defense. He comes in for Corey Dickerson. Justin Miller's now on the hill for the Rockies. One Dickerson departs and one enters the game. Here comes Alex Dickerson to pinch hit for Ian Kennedy.
Well, the last time Justin Miller faced the Padres in San Diego, he became the first Rockies reliever to fan all 4 batters in a relief appearance. And then he went on to do it 4 more times for 8 consecutive batters struck out.
Club record, 2 off the major league record at 10 in a row. First pitch strike, Justin Miller. Rockies have out-hit the Padres 6-5. Each team has committed an error. 3 on the right side for Dickerson, and he hits this ball down the right field line and deep. It's got home run distance if it's fair, and it is a foul ball.
Dickerson had 12 home runs, 71 RBIs in 125 games for El Paso. Close, might have been a couple feet short. You never know when that ball's going down the line.
0-2 on Dickerson. This ball at 96, just got a piece of it. The Rockies have a record of 31-40 at home, nowhere near what they expect at home, nowhere near where they need to be at home. We all understand the historic issues on the road. Just one winning season, that 2009 when they went 41-40 away from Coors Field. So a lot of pressure to win 50+ at home each year. One of the interesting things is the strikeout is complete of Dickerson. The Rockies have averaged 5.41 runs at home this year. It's the best in the National League at home, but it's the 3rd worst in Rockies history. The only time they have averaged less runs per game at home 2 years ago in 2008. So I looked up, because I know we're in this heavy pitchers era, and I said, all right, well, where's 2015 lie runs per game? Pitch misses on Myers. Well, it runs per game over the last 14 years, 4.26 runs this year would be the 3rd fewest. Last year was the fewest at 4.07. 2013, 4.17. So it's gone up a little bit this year. Home runs are up this year. And so you would hope that the runs per game at home for the Rockies would also be up. Now, I don't know if some of that had to do with that weather, the first part of the season. Whatever it is, you have to do a whole lot better than 31-40. That's the bottom line.
Because they need to go 5-5 on this homestand just to be one better than their worst ever mark at home, which was back in 2012 when they were 35-46.
Strike, and the only way you can avoid being under 500 at home this year, for just the 6th time since Coors Field opened, would to be unbeaten, 10-0. That's never happened on a 10-game homestand. The best 10-game homestand in the past was 9-1.
Don't worry, Jesus Christ made it a curveball.
2-2 on Myers. This ball's well hit to center field. Charlie got a good jump. Can he get there? Nope. can't get there, it wouldn't have mattered. That's a line shot home run by Will Myers, his 8th of the year, and that makes it 4-2.
That swing and that line drive home run for his 8th shows you the type of talent that a Will Myers has. Just hasn't been able to show it enough because he's been hurt. Wanted it away, but you could see where Dustin had to start to reach back, and that was just center cut for Will Myers.
One out, a run in. Yangervis Solarte with the 1-strike count. And a ground ball to Jose Reyes. That'll bring up Matt Kemp. Spilly, what do you have now?
Well, today's still Toyota Talk. Give us a thing at Twitter Talk, hashtag Fan Friday. So I get asked, is there any footage of your time in Japan on the internet? And the answer is yes, but if you're looking for my name, Ryan Spilborg, Seibu Lions, you're looking wrong. You have to look up Spilly because they couldn't pronounce my name, and that's no offense to the Japanese people, but it was just a tough name for them to say, so they changed it to Ryan Spilly. So if you go on the internet, you should be able to find some videos that I haven't destroyed yet. The defensive blunders aren't there. I'll tell you that.
It's a hard name for us to say.
I agree.
We call you Spilly on the air, but off the air, well, we can't repeat what we call you.
Spilly, was Seibu the same place Kaz Matsui played?
Height, and the same place that Daisuke Matsuzaka came from.
Who is more popular, you, Daisuke, or Kaz?
Oh, Daisuke. So Seibu Lions, the stadium, it was a normal open-air field like Coors Field. Imagine, because they posted him at $50 million, Daisuke, they just put a roof on top of it. So imagine Coors Field, there's a player that got bid, and with the money, they just took it and put a dome over the top of Coors Field. That's basically what the Seibu Lions did at that ballpark.
So it's the Matsuzaka roof?
Height.
Is it still turf?
Yep. Still turf.
You playing Seibu when you were over there?
Yeah, when we had two exhibition games before he opened up against the Mets over there.
1-1 on Kemp, fouled off 1-2.
Played the Tokyo Dome and then at Seibu.
I think that the part most people would really enjoy seeing, and Will Myers just having hit the home run, when a guy hits a home run, when he touches home plate, the bat boy from either team, so when I was on Seibu, if I hit a home run, the bat boy would hand me a giant stuffed animal of our mascot, and you would carry it and you'd show it to the fans, and that is their tradition.
That's interesting. Matt Kemp strikes out, so Justin Miller gets a couple strikeouts, but Will Myers gets him with a home run. So it's 4-2, stretch time at Coors Field. Partner Jeff Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. The National League playoff picture is brought to you by DirecTV. The Mets are now 8 up on the Nationals in the division. The Mets beat the Yankees tonight 5-1. The Cardinals have won 4 straight, 4.5 up. Well, they lost tonight, so they're still 4.5 up in the division. The Dodgers getting ready to go. Actually, they are already playing against the Pirates. And the Pirates and Cubs have those 2 wild card spots pretty secure. It's 2-0 Dodgers on the Pirates in the 3rd inning. Josh Johnson. That's not Josh Johnson.
Josh is hurt.
Yeah, that would be Josh Johnson. That's Mr. Jackson.
Jay Jackson.
Yeah.
Josh Johnson has to have surgery again.
Yeah, he's just had an injury-riddled career. Unfortunate for a guy who had one of the best arms in the game. So Jay Jackson here in the 7th inning for San Diego. Dustin Garneau. Look out, Daniel Descalso on the on-deck circle. Almost got hit.
I'm going to go ahead. Just kind of move over a little bit so that doesn't happen again. Jay Jackson selected by the Padres, on Monday for his first major league stint. Got in the game that night, so got his feet wet immediately.
He's got a good arm. Missed there at 94. 1-1. I should just kind of dismiss that language. Anybody gets called up anymore, you know they have a great arm.
Or some sort of trick pitch that you just can't hit.
There's another base hit for Garneau. 2-hit night for Dustin. The Rockies with the 2-run lead play small ball here with Descalso.
Try to add another run. You have the top of the order coming up. Pat Murphy is going to go to his bullpen. Bring in the left-hander. Zimzinski.
So we'll get a pitching change with the Rockies ahead 4-2.
In the game, we call him Scrabble. I get another tweet right now that's going to ask a simple question. You should know this. His number is retired. James Neal says, who's the last Rockies player to hit 40 homers? And that was Todd Helton with 42 in the year 2000. Oh, that should be Conan O'Brien. He should do something like that. You can see Nolan's one more homer away That is a huge number, and when asked, usually I'm like 39 homers is a lot, 40 would be incredible. The number that sticks out to me, Vinny Castilla did it 3 separate times. That is impressive, and it'd be nice to see another third baseman this year do it as well.
Absolutely. You know, it's a season where we mentioned we've seen more home runs this year than we have the last couple of years. Nolan right near the top of the charts, and the Rockies will indeed play small ball, and that throw into center field by Zepchinski. Thank you very much. On the throwing error, the Rockies have 2 on and nobody out. You may employ the same strategy. You have Charlie Blackmon coming up. Zepchinski fielded it, and with a real good throw, he's going to get Garneau. But I mean, that thing was a 2-seamer that wasn't close to Jed Jerko.
And he threw this and opened up, so his feet were pointing towards more right center field as he fielded this ball and went to throw it, and the ball took off on him. The step for Zepchinski. So he steps, but not towards the bag. So he's stepping one way and trying to hit a moving target going the other way, and airmailed it.
He's not going to get an error. What they're going to do is they're going to give Descalso a sacrifice. Sack, fielder's choice. That's how he reached. Sack, fielder's choice.
He'll take it. He could have easily given him an error. Chose not to. But laid it down again. Make him field the ball again.
Yeah.
Heads up.
Sometimes you bring in these lefty specialists, Huey, and okay, comes in to face Descalso. Blackman's on deck. Then you have Reyes. Then you have Cargo. You know, Arenado. I mean, if he gets that far, then you got Morneau again. Sometimes they're just best suited to facing a guy or 2.
Yeah. They don't like the multiple guys.
And look, now that he made the miscue, he's 3-0 on Blackman.
They had to get Nick Vincent up in the bullpen.
Yeah, Nick was up earlier briefly. And ball 4, and now they're loaded up for Jose Reyes. Four-pitch walk.
After the bunt attempt that he threw away and then the walk, it'll bring out Darren Balsley.
Jairo Diaz will handle the 8th inning getting loose for the Rockies. Slider misses, ball 1. Five straight out of the zone, and that, you know what, that was not a foul ball.
No, it just clanked off the glove of Derek Norris.
All right, Huey, put your helmet back on. Was that a
taken
situation where
one.
Reyes got to take a strike?
Yeah, with five straight, I got to make sure he throws me a strike.
Especially because that was a slider too, and probably was off the plate in. Hi there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases full of Rockies. Nobody out. Rockies up 2. And this is line to left. Get down. He will. One run will score. And here comes another. Descalso is safe at the plate. 2-run single, Jose Reyes. And the Rockies stretch the lead to 6-2.
Jose Reyes comes through with the single to left, but how about the base running from Daniel Descalso? This ball's up in the air. How close he is to third base when that ball is fielded by Justin Upton. Well, look how close he is. That allows Stu Cole to send him, because if he's not there, Stu will hold him up with Cargo coming up next.
Yeah, and watch Charlie Blackmon trying to swipe third here with the left-hander on the bump. 38 stolen bases for Charlie. Do have an open side, which makes it a whole lot easier for Derek Norris.
But see how far Solarte is off the bag. Then it becomes trying to throw to a target going to third base.
Cargo's 0 for 3. He was robbed by Matt Kemp, a sliding catch in the in the first. He was robbed in the 5th inning of a base hit on a leaping catch in short right field by Corey Spangenberg. With the shift, Spangenberg, there was nobody on, was parked about 40 feet out into right field. One ball, one strike on Cargo. From a base stealer standpoint right now, is he counting looks?
Counting looks and trying to measure and time it so he has some movement going to third. But it makes it hard with Jerko where he is right behind you. You know, if he comes up with an inside move, Jerko's right there to try to pick him off at second base. I think if he was on the other side, maybe on the complete pull side of second, then you would have a better chance to go.
2-1 is chopped foul. 2-2. Six-2 Colorado. 2-2 on Cargo. Nobody out. Blackmon at second, Reyes at first, Nolan's on deck. He's trying to blow it wide open. There goes Charlie, and it's fouled off. Reyes read Blackmon's first move, and he was coming too. How about this? The Rockies have scored more than 5 in a game for the first time since September 7th. And the reason that's a little surprising is the Rockies had that, really solid road trip out west, 5-5. But they have not scored more than 5 since they beat the Padres first game of that trip 6-4. Good job by Cargo, kicks away momentarily from Norris. And now it's 3-2.
Now do you go? That's the question. 3-2 count. Probably not going to get as good of a jump at second because you're worried that he might come with the inside move the first time, so you have to make sure that if he doesn't, he's going home.
I think with Nolan on deck, you don't go. Left on left, Cargo does strike out. And they were not going.
First 10,000 fans through the gates on Saturday, September 26th, will receive a Colorado Rockies baseball hat. It's courtesy of United Launch Alliance. Get your tickets to this game against the Dodgers today.
Another 3-2. Not going. And a big bouncer to second. And Reyes couldn't put on the brakes fast enough, and it's a 4-3 double play.
Jose tried to do everything he could not to get tagged. With the high chopper, he stops. Tries to back pedal. Spansberg makes the tag and then throws to first.
Now Pat Murphy with Arenado coming up will take the baseball from Zepchinski. Rockies lead at 6-2 in the 7th. Coming up, they'll face Nick Vincent. Let's check our Data Strong fan photo brought to you by T-Mobile. Love to see smiles at the old ballpark. Right now, the crowd of more than 27,000 smiling with the Rockies up by 4. Nolan Arenado's had a productive night once again. 2 for 3. A couple runs scored. The only time he's had to turn around and go to the bench, it was a line shot to the center fielder, Melvin Upton. So Nick Vincent, the veteran right-hander, trying to get the 3rd out in the 7th inning.
4th stint in the major leagues for Vincent. And Drew, I found the guy that doesn't come in and throw 95 to 98. It's this guy right here, Nick Vincent. Got a cut fastball, about 87 miles an hour. But that's his go-to pitch. Sorry, it was 88, not 87.
Yeah, I mean, it's mentionable now in this day and age because it's unusual. I still think the #1 thing, and I'm sure you would agree, and Spilly would as well, command, command, command.
You have to be able to command, no matter how hard you throw, what type of pitch you throw. Because if you start working all 4 quadrants of the strike zone, hitters are baffled. They don't know what to look for, what count, and you can get away with pitches that aren't 100 miles an hour.
Good swing. Blackman at third with 2 gone. Nolan out in front. Yeah, he reminds me, there's comparisons to Vinny. They both played third. Both are going to hit 40+ home runs in all likelihood. Vinny did it, several times. No line about Vinny. You couldn't sneak the cheese past the rat. You couldn't throw a fastball in the inner half past Vinny Castilla. It's hard to throw a fastball past Nolan Arenado in the inner half.
Guys keep trying, though.
Good for them.
Yeah, they do. He'll make it pay. I think Vinny could still turn around a fastball today.
He'll get in there and take some BP from time to time. Won't catch a taste. Still got it.
Still got it.
2-2. 3-2. We were talking about, there's Vinny. We were talking about the candidacy of Nolan, the MVP candidacy, and certainly has the endorsement of his manager. Well, Pat Murphy was asked about Nolan's candidacy, and Pat has known Nolan since he was a high school kid when he recruited him to Arizona State, and he said, I got no issue with it. He's had an unbelievable year, and he also brought up the defense. He said, I know it's not always thought about with that award. Pat deferred, saying, I haven't been, a big league manager very long. I mean, most of his experience has been as a college coach and a terrifically successful college coach. But the numbers he's put up, I mean, there's very few guys like him in baseball, and he's right.
Second in the National League in home runs, first in RBIs.
First in runs saved. 3-2 again. And this ball to center field. It's going to get down, and Nolan has RBI number 112. Come on down, Charlie Blackmon. 7-2 Colorado. Well, that was a persistent at bat, wasn't it?
Well, he fouled one to the left. He stayed alive by fouling one off to right field, and then bloops this one into center field. On the 9th pitch of that at bat. Thought they could come inside. Nope, can't do that.
Strike on Morneau. Justin's had a big night. Double in the 3rd, triple in the 6th. It's not a game anymore unless Morneau throws out a triple.
Actually, it's back-to-back games for him that he's hit a triple. I said it was 2 in the last 3 games. He didn't play on Wednesday.
The bat went further than the ball.
And he was left with the handle in his hand. Yeah, that's getting sawed off. And then some.
Man, got really light in my hands all of a sudden.
Must have been bad wood. That's what hitters always say. It's just bad wood. Must have had a crack in it before.
Yeah. That looked like one of those Mariano Rivera cutters. It's like a chainsaw. This is Morney. He's lost 7 pounds this week on 2 hits.
It's Tuesday night, and then tonight. So, you know what? I can do it out on the road, and I can do it at home.
Arenado takes off, and Nolan with the sneak attack, stolen base. Just throwing up numbers in every category now.
Yeah, second one of the season.
Got a chance still for double figures. You never know.
Still some games left. Got to get 8 in the next 15 games. That almost took Nick Vincent's head off.
That's because Derek Norris had like a changeup grip. He took it out of his gloves. Like, what's going on?
So the fan catch that foul ball in her hat. She didn't need a glove.
Out full now on Mornell. LeMahieu hoping for an opportunity. Rockies have pushed 3 across here in the 7th. After San Diego tightened it up with the Will Myers home run, made it 4-2. It's now 7-2. Ball 4. Strong at bat for Justin. LeMahieu tonight 0 for 2 in a walk. He scored after walking back in the 2nd. That dramatic outfield shift on LeMahieu. If he were to hit one to center field, he'd run. He could do 2 laps around the bases.
And this might be the guy to do it on if he throws it. That cutter that stays inside.
Certainly a guy you can turn on. But DJ rarely, and to his credit, deviates from his approach.
He went into this season saying as much. I'm not going to become somebody I'm not. My strength is hitting to right field, and he stayed with that approach all day long.
This ball is center, but Upton has a beat on it, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. So the Rockies get 3, and they have a 7-2 lead. Another ribby for that man. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Saratoga Casino. So new, so you. Rockies up 7-2 on a Friday night in Lodo. top of the 8th inning. Jairo Diaz aboard. He's made an impression, Jeff Houston, late in the season on Walt Weiss and Steve Foster. And bullpen coach Darren Holmes as well.
And those are the guys you want to impress. Lefty's hitting 158 against Jairo. Let's talk about one of those trades that maybe went under the wire, and you think about who you gave up for him. It's hard. Josh Rutledge is an athletic guy, but you have a chance to get somebody that throws hard, that can pitch late in the games out of the bullpen. It was a good trade. I mean, you come in, you get 97 miles an hour, and he's not scared of being in these situations.
Justin Upton takes ball 1. And that rides high, 2-0. Whoa, 3-0. Well, that's not what Jairo Diaz wanted to do. 4 pitches, not close, and he walks Justin Upton.
And especially with the 7-2 lead. On the road traveling and want to watch your Rockies, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Out of the 13 games for Jairo, he's been unscored upon in 12 of them.
Quickly a 2-strike count on Jed Jerko. Strikeout, ground out, and a comebacker. One and 2. Right center field. Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo takes it. Had that been the other night with Jason Burke out there, Blackmon, Charlie said, get out of the way. That's mine.
Let me have it. Let the sure guy have it.
Hey, guess what? It's been a few days, but we get tacos. The Rockies have hit that magic number of 7, so don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to receive your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. Ground ball through the left side, a base hit. Upton's got 3 hits tonight. That's Melvin Upton. 2 doubles and now a single.
And his average is at 250. Hey, while we have a minute, I know that the Asheville Tourists lost in the Sally League Championship last night. You know, that's always a disappointment, but I don't think their season could be called a disappointment. What Warren Schaefer, the manager, and the kids were able to do down there to lose out to the Hickory Crawdads. It's the 3rd time in 4 years they've won the Southern Division pennant.
They have a long and storied tradition in Asheville. It's been a great relationship, the Rockies organization, and it's a beautiful town in Western Carolina. That's fouled off, and there's a lot of kids coming, not just at Asheville, Modesto, New Britain. That young man's got a baseball.
This night's complete.
Absolutely. Well, I don't. Has he had cotton candy yet? I've been watching him all night.
I'm sure he had some treat.
Derek Norris 0 for 2, hit by pitch. That's in there. It's 2 strikes. Heater swung on and missed, and that's 2 outs. Chad Bettis is on the plus side. 5 innings, a run on 4 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts. And with that strikeout by Diaz, the Rockies have struck out 10 Padres tonight because Oberg had a strikeout. Justin Miller naturally had a couple, striking everybody out, as we've chronicled. And now Jairo Diaz with a strikeout. Here's Corey Spangenberg. And this is up the middle, a base hit. And Justin Upton is going to score. Melvin going to third, and now Melvin's going to come home as Nolan went to the baseball trying to pick up that short hop, because he's always thinking, and he felt like, all right, I don't have a play on Melvin Upton, but I have a play on Spangenberg, and he couldn't pick up the short hop, so they'll give the error to the center fielder Charlie Blackmon. 2-run score on that play. 1 RBI, obviously.
Spangenberg hits the chopper up the middle, and then Charlie tried to get Melvin going to third. And you see Nolan had to come out and around the sliding runner in Upton. This is that time where the pitcher, go down as a 3rd error of the season for Charlie, but this is the time that the pitcher doesn't immediately go back up home. He has to go in between third and home and then read where that throw is going.
Yeah, let me correct that. Obviously, he would have been second and third. So Nolan was just going, because that was the best route to try to stop the baseball.
Try to get out around it.
When he was initially, I thought he felt like he had a play on the trail runner, and that was not the case. Alexi Amarista takes a big cut. 0-1. Arista's had a tough go of it against the Rockies this year, just 2 for 21.
Stay down. See why you had to drop to a knee.
Yeah, which you can do on that right side. Couple runs in the inning. One is earned, one is unearned. 7-4 Rockies.
of the 8th on a Fan Friday. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And for some of the members of the San Diego Padres organization that are in the Moon Saloon in Peoria, Arizona, they were able to get our Root Sports feed. And Xavier Nady, Steve Finley, Glendon Rush, and Zach Nelson, they're in attendance at the Moon Saloon, and they have offered all the patrons in that restaurant the next round. So cheers, you guys. I'm glad you enjoyed the game.
Wasn't it 2 rounds? I thought it was 2 rounds.
How many rounds?
It was 2 rounds.
2 rounds, that's right.
It was 2 rounds.
Yep, 2 rounds. The next 2 rounds are on these major leaguers.
That's awful nice of them.
I know, aren't they great? Great guys.
Didn't Cal win last night or last week? Did the Bears win last week?
I'm not sure, but I know Lake Elsinore is a better team because they have guys like Rod Barajas, Glendon Rush, and Xavier Nady was there playing. X is going to give it to you, his hitting tape on the bus rides. I know that was great.
Well, I was going to say, because Cal won, so X is going to pick up the 3rd and 4th rounds for the patrons there. That was wonderful of those guys. Brandon Barnes is first at bat. Nick Vincent has given way to John Edwards.
Came over for the Texas Rangers on the trade for Will Venable on the 18th of August.
Will Venables find himself right in the middle of a huge division battle. Texas has come on. Started the night with a 2.5-game lead on Houston.
They dropped a home game today to Seattle 3-1.
2-1 on Barnes. Good fastball.
It doesn't matter. Oakland came back to beat Houston, so they keep that lead.
You got to worry about the Astros. They're taking on water in a big way. That's 5 straight losses. Three and 2. Foul tips held, strike 3. All right, Jimmy John's delivery of the game. A lot of options tonight. We're going to go with Chad Bettis because Chad dealt with some traffic in 3 of his 5 innings, but he got big strikeouts, big outs, and in a game that I think could have gone the other way, he allowed just 1 run. I was really impressed with how he pitched out the stretch tonight. And his work, our Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
It's good to see him when he needed to make a pitch and come out. Kind of put his foot down, he did. Matt Kemp with the strikeout, Spangenberg, Justin Upton. I mean, this kind of goes on and on.
2-0 on Garneau. So Chad Bettis in line for his 8th victory of the year. He's lost just 5 times.
Be his 3rd win after the All-Star break, or excuse me, after he came off the DL.
Yeah, and his ERA is in the mid-3s since coming off the disabled list. 2-0 on Garneau. He's got a couple hits tonight, including a 2-run double. He went that time, 2-1. Dustin couldn't hold up, so back-to-back strikeouts by John Edwards. And pinch hitting will be Christian Adames.
John Axford warming up in the bullpen. He'll handle the 9th inning.
Here's 0-1 on Christian. If there's any, that's amazing that bat has a life in it still, huh?
We saw Justin Morneau lose a bat, being sawed off. I think the reason that one did because he didn't have a full swing at it. Just not enough bat speed.
And as he was swinging, he said, "Oh, this is going to hurt.
This is going to hurt. Hope my thumbs stay intact."
Well, Edwards strikes out the side in the 8th. We move to the 9th. The Rockies looking for 3 more outs, trying to start the homestand with a big W. They're up 7-4.
Win. We will have the Toyota post-game show. We're going to start off by talking about Mr. Single. Sure, Nolan Arenado's looking for home run number 40, but the singles will do for now.
And garnering attention, Dustin Garneau, 2 big hits and 2 RBIs.
And Chad, Chad Bettis. That's so bad. 5 innings, 4 hits. He grinded. Wasn't his best performance, but he went out there and kept his team in the ballgame.
Your topical so bad, but Chad Bettis wasn't so bad.
Good, yeah.
Sticking on the bad theme, we're going to go back to Toyota talk for just a minute. Many of you were asking if there was actual video proof that Spilly played in Japan. Well, here is Ryan Spilly playing in the minor leagues in Japan. I'm not sure if this was taken at a high school field in America, but no, this is really in Japan. That's Spilly. There he is,
that's
19.
Weird. It's a lefty who throws under 85. And Spilly's crushing him.
That ball looks like he's standing at 46 feet away.
That he at least got 1 hit in Japan. There's proof that he got 1 hit in Japan. It was a double through a chain link fence.
Can we check the birth certificate of those kids?
I don't know about that. Drew? Jeff?
Yeah,
did you guys catch the video?
Yeah, we did. That took place at Grandview High School last week.
Exactly. I'll pay the local scout for that video of Spilly hitting at Grandview.
On the all-dirt infield. Yeah, you see those every day.
I don't know what to do with that. Nice hit, Spilly.
I don't know. That was a good hit, Spilly.
Yeah. John Axford is on. Will Myers is stepping into the box. The Rockies leading 7-4. First of a 10-game homestand, final 10 at home in 2015.
John gave up a run in that 16-inning marathon trying to save it on Tuesday night, and that snapped a 10-game scoreless streak for him.
Just off the plate, ball 1. Myers homered in his last at bat. He also has an infield hit tonight. 2 for 4, a couple of runs scored. Oberg, a scoreless inning of relief. Miller gave up the home run. Diaz gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. And that's a nice play by Justin Morneau. Fancy play. Tell you what, one of the things that Justin has demonstrated here in the last couple of weeks, when I think most people felt like he would not return this year with the neck and head issues, not only has he gotten back on the field, he's played well.
And that is a proof on that replay how well that he has been playing. He's off the line because you're up by 3 runs. You don't have to play the no doubles, but so he's taken away that gap between first and second. Slides over there, easy toss. Good to see. I mean, you would hate for him to think, oh, I couldn't play anymore, but he's proven to himself that, yeah, I can go out there. I can still compete at the major league level and be productive.
Yangervis Solarte. Ground rule double back in the 3rd inning. It's one of those situations where Bettis pitched out of traffic. Just traffic in the 2nd on the ball that Cargo lost and then tried to recover late and dropped. Lost it up in the sky.
I think that was the key inning, that 3rd inning, because you had the single, then you had the ground rule double. The Rockies were only up 3-0 at the time, and he only allows 1 run to the Padres.
Yeah, I mean, I think a pitcher at any point would take that. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and you only give up 1.
And the next 3 guys you're facing are the 3, 4, and 5 hitter.
Yeah, that's a great point as well. Solarte takes inside 1 and 2. And Kemp is on deck. Seven runs, 9 hits for the Rockies. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Padres.
We're talking about the Pirates. Well, you can bring your family to the ballpark with the Coca-Cola value pack. It's available the 21st through the 24th when the Pirates are in town. That's Monday through Thursday for either $59 or $79, depending on seat location.
Axford's 1-2. Curveball just missed. 2 and 2. Of the 8 position players who started, everybody reached but Cargo. Cargo was robbed a couple of times. Jose Reyes, big 2-run single in the 7th. Nolan, 3 hits in his 112th RBI. Dustin Garneau, a couple hits. 2-run double in the 2nd. It's been a nice return to Coors Field. Walt Weiss was asked about this homestand and, finishing strong, and Walt said, absolutely you want to do that. He said, but I haven't ever had a question about how my guys will play, and we've demonstrated that for weeks on end. They have played hard. They have not played like a team that's in 20 some odd games beneath 500. They have won enough. We understand that, but it's not a team just going through the motions. Cargo's out there, and he's got it 2 outs.
I looked at that 16-inning game. You could easily hung your head there and come back and get the home run. They battled Kershaw the night he pitched. Ended up losing, but those are signs to tell you the team hasn't quit.
They keep playing hard for that man, and that is not a shocker for those of us that are around this club every day. He commands respect. Matt Kemp with 2 outs. Spilly. So who shot that video last week, and what high school around here was it with the old skin infield?
Oh yeah, no, that is in Japan. That is the Seibu Lions minor league field where my dreams went to die, and it was just shot by probably a family member that was there. So I'm glad you guys got to witness the end of Spilly. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I thought you did a nice job staying inside this, Spilly.
Well, nothing changes. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not that fast anymore, or maybe I wasn't fast at all. I mean, I'm still not in the screen yet. I'm just glad it's over. I mean, you can see why I'm behind the mic now. It's because of that.
I liked it. I really did. Did you think you hit it out, though?
Of course.
There you go. 0-2 gap. Spilly, here's what I want you to do. Who are you going to interview? Let's tease the post-game show.
I shall interview Dustin Garneau.
Nice.
He's been very good behind the plate.
He's done a terrific job.
Yeah.
0-2 on Matt Kemp, a strike away.
had a few fastballs in there.
Dustin's still working hard.
Have to. 2 strikes, you have to knock it down in case Matt swings at it. All right, what do you think? Power on power? I think so.
I would agree.
Maybe inside, too.
2 outs, nobody on. See how far you can hit it. Here comes 98. That was 98. Goes too high. Just missed. So a walk with 2 outs to Matt Kemp. That'll bring up Justin Upton. Hey, big shout out while we have a few seconds here before John Axford puts this one to bed. Georgia's son, it's been a big week for the Frazier family. Georgia finishes in the top 10 in the Miss America contest. Well, tonight for the Midland Rockhounds, they're in the postseason. Parker Frazier. Parker throws a complete game shutout. 3 hits, struck out 9, walked 2 for the Midland Rockhounds as they beat Northwest Arkansas in the Texas League. How about that? This is in the air to right. This should do it. Cargo retreating. He's got it. And the Rockies start the homestand with a very fine 7-4 victory over the Padres. Chad Bettis improves to 8-5. Ian Kennedy takes the loss. He's now 8-50.